all evil. It was Paul Joseph Watson. That's who the host was that had the guest that was talking about alternative views on depression. And I don't disagree with a lot of it, but it did inspire some thought in me, and a need to feel like I had to contribute a little to the conversation here. But there is a whole lot of components to this whole thing. And, it is tough to live in this world. And, if you don't have some psychological issues, and of course, feeling sad, feeling, grief struck, or feeling depressed, okay, that's a common symptom of contending in an unjust world. That's normal. You're not supposed to be okay with it. I'm often saying that about myself. I'm not okay with it, and I don't want to be okay with it. I would hate myself, as much as I don't like a lot of aspects about my personality and my character. Okay, I would be absolutely find myself untenable if I didn't feel like I didn't fit into this system. I cannot fit into it. I can't stand the establishment, man. I want my paradigm to be altered 180 degrees from this one. I want to be free. And I know I can't be free while I got evil money masters of misery running my life and making people's lives miserable. Intentionally making poverty. They're creating poverty. It's social Darwinism. What am I supposed to comply to this? Go along with it? Just go make enough. Go make more money. Go please your money masters of misery. Pay your taxes. Pay more. That's success. As we define it, that's prosperity. As we define it, just make a lot of money. That's the answer out of your depression. Make a lot of money. Be successful as we define it. That ain't going to work on guys like me. Believe me, it ain't going to work. I've seen the end from the beginning, folks. I can understand living a profligate, extravagant lifestyle and how some people think that's, they use it as anesthesia, right? To anesthetize themselves, right? Like somebody might do cocaine. Wow, it feels really good. Man, I feel really good. This is really exhilarating. But it's a temporary high. It's a pseudo high. It's a false high. I want to get high on something that lasts. And that is God's will. That's what's lasting. And that's what's to come. As much as it's always darkest before the dawn. That's what we're going through here. That's what I'm feeling. That's what's kicking up this rebellious spirit in me. And wanting to escape and need to escape, man. I want the worm to turn so much. I want that worldwide event. Something that's going to shake people out of their shoes, man, and get them busy to say, all right, I'll jump into that pool of humanity now. But it's got to affect everybody around the world like some giant flood, some giant hurricane, but on a worldwide basis. So we're all in it together at the same time. And we got to have a reset of our economic affairs because this is where our social welfare is. This is where our political welfare is. This is where our unity is. This is where casting off the shackles and chains of this establishment are and getting out from under the thumb of the Satanists. This is the only way we can do it, man. And so that's not going to happen by just me, myself, and I becoming prosperous and secure and successful, okay? That ain't going to fly for a guy like me. And believe me, I got the smarts to do it, to pull a rabbit out of the hat, financially speaking. That's why I don't worry about it too much. And anybody else, if my kids don't like me being poor, that's tough. That's their pill to swallow. Okay? But you know what? I'm not going to go out there and be coerced and forced into making a lot of money for anybody. If they want to look down on me, that's their damn business. Okay? But remember who you're looking down. You're looking down on Jesus. Remember who the least of men is. And it's all relative because I'm a hell of a lot more well-heeled than guy dying out on the street or that's feeling compelled to commit a crime because of his financially desperate state. Okay, I'm doing a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better than somebody that's working for the establishment and raking it in and not caring about the cause and effect, the effect. All these bodies floating down the river and people bitching about the effect. Stop falling in the river. Stop being so careless. Get with the social Darwin program here. Instead of looking at the people, they're being pushed in the river. They're not falling in the damn river. So why don't you blame the people pushing them in the river, the money masters of misery, and all their sycophantic minions and cohorts, winning or not, the establishmentarians, the puppets beneath them that go along with it. Blame correctly, judge correctly. Okay, let's get on with this show, man. Let's get honest. Let's get real. Okay, use a modicum of intelligence. Know that I know what the hell I'm talking about in regard to these economic matters. I know how to define progress, for crying out loud. At least give me credit for that. And we've been making anti-progress practically my whole life since they killed JFK and had their little money masters of misery coup d'etat. Whatever happened to Executive Order 11,110? Huh, mainstream media? What happened to it? Just because he murdered the president, did you have to murder his policies too? Yeah, I know what the hell is going on here. I know how Satan is a prince of this world. Jesus said it himself. And we're going to turn that around, man. That's what I mean. The worm's got to turn. We need a worldwide event that's going to turn Satan on his head, man. That pyramid's got to be turned upside down. The base is going to crush the head of the evil one. Remember, fall on the rock of your salvation, Jesus Christ. He's the cornerstone. He said all that fall on this rock will be broken into pieces. That's what's going to happen. All you Christian believers that aren't Laodiceans, and there's plenty of Laodiceans, even the own church I'm a member of, I believe, even they themselves believe they're very much a Laodicean church, which means they're well-heeled, they're rich, wealthy, in need of nothing, but they don't know that they're wretched and blind and naked. That's what the Laodicean way is, the way of this world, those false Christians. But all you people better get with it and understand, man, this thing's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. And it's painful to watch, and we're in the middle of this thing, man. It's happening right now. I feel the power of God is coming upon the world to those that are really hungering and thirsting for righteousness to be the rule of the day, to see justice prevail in the land, not for some people, but for all the people. Okay, that's the only way it can be. That's the only way we're going to find true lasting happiness. That's the only way we're going to be absolutely, utterly, completely, truly free and secure, out of fear. That's it. It's got to be seen for everybody. And, Satan's head is going to be crushed. But it goes on. Jesus went on to say that whoever falls on this rock will be broken into pieces. True. It's very traumatic. The truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth can indeed be a finger down the throat for those that are perishing in the ways of the world, that have been living by the credo of the world system. Okay, yes, it is. It's traumatic. That's what he meant. It's like being broken into pieces. But it's way better that you could pick up the pieces and God can put them back together. With his help, you can do it. Put yourself back together. If you fall on the rock of your salvation, Jesus Christ. But if you let the rock fall on you, he warns, whoever ignores, whoever prescribes this ignorance is bliss philosophy, buries their head in the sand and prescribes this willful ignorance, then the rock is going to eventually fall on you. And what's going to happen when the rock falls on you? You're going to be crushed into dust. And it's one hell of a lot harder to put together those bits of particles of atoms of dust as an allegory than it is the bunch of broken pieces. Okay? So fall on the rock and accept the fact that Jesus Christ is going to be ruling over the affairs of men. Then let's put all this political, economic, and social stuff in the right perspective and understand what that paradigm is going to look like, what our so-called reality is going to look like at that point in time. All this racism, sexism, all this nationalism, all this stuff, classism, all these issues, put them in that perspective when God is running the world, when we're all treated equally from the get, from Jump Street, from birth. Okay, our reality is decided by none other than Jesus Christ. And if you think that he's an a-hole in any way, think again. If you think he doesn't prescribe to constitutional principles and precepts like equality, okay, then you're wrong. You're flat out dead wrong. It would go against everything that's written in Scripture. No, God is a good, loving God, and he believes in equality. He believes in fairness and justice and mercy, all good things. In this depression thing, all the emotions, like fear and anger, this indignation, they're implanted by this culture of fraud. Okay, how can they not be? So, when you want to talk about sadness and depression, what's bumming us out? They didn't touch on God and prayer in this piece either. And there was a pretty long interview, but the place that prayer plays and all this, how God help me out of this depression. Help me to understand what's going on here, because I don't even understand what is going on here. And this happens with so many people, great people through history. Even the disciples struggled with this. They thought there was like something strange, like demon spirits had taken over them. They were doing stuff they didn't want to do. I mean, this is the nature of the beast. It's just like me smoking more. You think I want to smoke more tobacco? What are the forces playing on me? This rebellious spirit, this satanic spirit within me. That's saying, oh, you want to make me quit smoking by raising the price? Well, I'll get around that. I'll just buy the bulk tobacco. I'll roll my own. I'll grow my own plants, for crying out loud. If I want to smoke myself stupid, you a-holes that just think that raising my burden, my cost of living, my taxes is going to fix the damn problem, I want to kick your butt. Because plenty of smokers outlive non-smokers, and that statement is a matter of fact. I dare you to refute it, a-holes. Talk about the poisons in our food that's okayed by the Food and Drug Administration. Poisonous vaccines. Let's talk about that crap. Oh, it's generally recognized as safe, but don't read the insert of the vaccines. Don't read really what Dr. Blaylock, the renowned brain surgeon, said about aspartame. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to Dr. Joel Wallach on high fructose corn syrup or any of the other renowned doctors. Don't listen to Dr. Group. Don't listen to any of these other doctors that come out and tell you it's poison, that there's mercury in it, your body can't handle this foreign sweetener, artificial sweetener, with all the poison in it and all the diseases that can be induced by consuming it. No, don't listen to them. Just listen. This is crazy, man. We live in a mad, 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 mad world. And if we understand one thing, understand that nothing in this realm makes sense. This paradigm makes no sense. Reality is 180 degrees away from this crap. So yes, I get indignant about this, and I feel what's going on here. This spirit of rebellion. It is a satanic spirit that has come upon the whole world. It's pervasive. I see it in everybody. I know that what I'm going through, other people are going through, especially if you're real. If you want the whole truth, nothing but the truth, you will find it, because you've asked for a good thing. But it's a traumatic thing. What you're saying is, I'm ready to fall on the rock of my salvation. I'm ready to fall on Jesus Christ, or the spirit thereof. Okay, I'm ready. Because I hunger and thirst for righteousness to be the rule of the day. I want justice to prevail upon the earth. Okay, I want people to live in freedom and security and safety around the world, and prosperity. That's what I want. I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to jump in the pool of humanity. Be somebody. That'll get rid of your depression. But it's traumatic, and that can induce its own kind of sadness. It's a downer, man. You're gonna bring yourself down. It's like self-flagellation. Yeah, I want to go down to the demonstration to get my fair share of abuse. Well, that doesn't make sense. Avoid the demonstration. Stay home. Stay in your comfort zone, right? Isn't that the other voice in your head? So we got a battle raging right within the members of our own essence, okay? The spirit wants one thing. The worldly nature, the flesh, carnal nature wants another thing. And only one of them at the end of the day can win. And so since today might be the last day for any of us, we might take our last breath, we've got to be very clear, at least in our own minds, which side of this thing we stand on. Are we on the side of God and humanity? Or are we on the side of Satan and inhumanity? That's it. There's only two sides to this battle. That's it. And only one can at the end of the day, dominate and overtake the other one right within our own members. So when we stand before God, maybe today, and we say, God, into your hands I commit my spirit. I please, cast out all the chaff, all the rubbish and garbage and refuse in my heart, soul, my spirit, my mind, and my body. And please, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I want to go to a better world. I'm ready to lay all my cards on the table and jump into that pool of humanity. And I want it to be your way, God. And I want to treat every man as I want to be treated. I want to live by the golden rule, as if they were you, Father. The least of men was you. Okay? That's the way I want to see things. I want to see things through your eyes. I want to feel worthy and deserving of going to a better world, inheriting a better world. I want to live forever in a paradise, not this crap hole excuse for a world, for a civilized society. This isn't it. So I guess that, I kind of expanded on that because it got me going, that discussion about depression, because I've struggled with depression myself, as everybody else has. It's a very natural thing that people go through depression. Yeah, and I don't like that SPLC. They're fomenting racism, I believe. I believe that's what they're being paid for.